Hi, I'm Kelly, and I'm here with Karyn, and we're here to answer your grief questions. If you like what you're hearing, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of our latest videos. We release new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. So today's question is for you, Karyn, and I think it's a normal one that we hear probably all the time.
Yeah.
And the question is it normal to be really tired all the time when you're grieving?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how often I just say yes, and we could probably just, end
We're
it at
done.
that. Yep, 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 it's normal. But yeah, it's really normal. I mean, I think it's one of the very frustrating, byproducts of grieving because you are potentially, maybe especially in the case of a spouse, although it could be, even with the loss of a parent, but there's details. There's a lot of things to be doing and managing, especially early on, and to not have the energy or the ability, to feel up to doing all that. And you could be taking on a lot of things in terms of the maintenance of the household. There's just like so much that potentially is going to be going on and requiring more of your energy, and then you have less of it. I think some of it has to do with the fact that you don't have to be doing anything at all. I mean, you can really just be kind of sitting and not even at the end of the day knowing where your day went and still feel absolutely exhausted. And as I say to people a lot, I don't think there's anything more tiring than mental and emotional exhaustion.
Mhm.
Because if we're physically exhausted, there's almost like a sense of accomplishment that comes with that. If I, walked a lot, or if I, was doing something that felt like intentional and purposeful. But when you are mentally exhausted, I think it's just because you just don't stop thinking,
Yes.
and when you are grieving, the thoughts do not stop, and there's no break and no respite from it, and you just feel absolutely drained by it. Not to mention the fact, a lot of people, we had talked about sleeping before, a lot of people struggle with their sleep, so there's just kind of the practical point that there may be less sleep that you're getting. But it makes it hard. And we're kind of talking about the early days, but I do find that it continues for a lot of people, and they don't feel very interested in things, and they lack motivation. Some people, we've been talking about this a lot lately, start to withdraw maybe even a little bit more, because they just don't even feel like they have the energy to deal with other people's energy, and
Mhm.
they feel kind of overstimulated if they're out doing things. Um, and it seems to have a way to just become this like perpetual cycle of it. And then I think people start to feel a little bit bad about themselves, and then feel less motivated. So it's like, yeah, I mean, this tiredness is I've never met somebody who's grieving who doesn't say that they're exhausted. Not just tired, exhausted is the word that they'll use.
And I always say, like, until you've experienced grief, you really don't know. You would be so surprised how exhausting grief really is.
Yeah.
And I think most people don't realize that if they haven't experienced a significant loss, that it's mentally, it's physically exhausting. Our brain is trying to make sense of this loss and it just doesn't. And so our brain, like you said, it's just always going. It's trying, it's getting caught up in the whys, why now, why this happened, what could I have done, the regrets, the coulda, woulda, shouldas. It's all of these things and then just missing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Well, and again too, like, we talked about the physical, like, especially in those earlier days or any time that you're crying, like it makes your eyes sore and heavy, and and some people, they start to feel stuffed up all the time, and you just really almost start to not feel well. And there are physical symptoms like headaches and things like that that can just really be draining you and pulling you down. So, I think it's really important to normalize it, to recognize it. And I hear way too many people that accuse themselves of being lazy, or think that this is some new personality trait that they're just going to want to lay on the sofa all the time. But I think understanding that it's a part of the grief process and it's a symptom that, hopefully eventually they'll find some relief from. But I think trying to take care of yourself and take that nap. When you want to take a nap, take a nap.
Mhm.
And don't think, oh, I should be doing this, and I feel bad. It's like, just let yourself rest. You need it. You're not going to need it forever, but you need it right now.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right. So to summarize, is it normal to be really tired all the time when you're grieving?
Yeah. And so tiredness is probably one of the number one symptoms and traits that people who are grieving share. due to the physical experience of crying and grieving, and due to the emotional experience of just always thinking and not being able to kind of turn off your thoughts and to be ping ponging back and forth between the past and the future. So, it's really important to identify this as part of your grieving process and to take the rest when you need it and to do whatever is going to help you without judging yourself, without putting harsh expectations on yourself. It's really important to do that. And every time you feel tired, say, I'm grieving, and that's what this is.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you so much, Karen.
Sure.
And thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on YouTube and TikTok. And we'll be back in a few days with another video for you. Take care.
Thanks.